Hello, friends and followers, and good evening. So I'm working on the Ten Tec OMNI 6 Plus once again, and this has been a comedy of errors on my part. And as I stress, you really have to diagnose the problem and research what you're doing, and just don't throw parts into things. So I very stupidly just threw parts in this thing, and 10 meters on this wasn't working as far as the engaging the filter coil. So anyway, I assumed the driver chip was bad, and I could only source the driver chip from China, so I did that. And you can see the chip right there, the black chip in the socket below the 33 thing there. That's the chip in the socket. It turns out that wasn't bad. And if you note those four little red diodes, those are OR gates, or ORing diodes. Those will OR 10 meter signal from 10 meter segment A, B, C, and D into a common signal, and those go into two transistors. I replaced the PNP driver in here, so I think that's the driver right there. That got replaced. You would think it'd be close to here, but I think it's not. So anyway, that got replaced, I think. It's in backwards, yeah. It's in backwards compared to the other one because it's now the opposite kind of pinout. So that got replaced. And I think that's going to fix the radio. So that, well, the 10 meter portion, as that turned out to be open. Anyway, schematic-wise, what are we looking at here? Schematic-wise, we're looking at the 10 meter signals come in through here. You'll see 10 meters A, this damn phone, 10 meters A, B, C, A, B, and C. I'm not sure what 1000 does or 100 does. But anyway, oh, okay, that's 10D. And then those come down to D5, 6, 7, and 8, and those will get summed into that base. So when that base on that transistor Q4, when that base goes high, it will cause Q4 to conduct. When it conducts, it will ground Q5. Q5 is a PNP, and when a PNP grounds, it conducts. So it's going to conduct power from that arrow going in. The power goes in along with the arrow, and the power goes out on the collector. And it goes to this pin here, out to the coil on the filter board to kick in for 10 meters. So that's how that works, and it was not working. It still may not be working, but I'm going to put the radio back together and see. So I've had all sorts of problems with this radio. The other bad problem I found with it, which was stumping me, was there was some loose solder connection on this interconnect board, and I didn't even know it was loose, but the radio would jump in the transmit, and it would somehow foul up the outputs on this driver chip so that I didn't know it was transmitting. I could only see that the current would jump up on the meter to almost 3 amps. So it must have been doing something different. And I'm like, well, I don't know the radio that well, this one anymore. So I thought, And here it was trying to transmit. And so when you transmit, you can't change bands, and this would jam. And so I kept thinking, well, here I'm trying to change bands to test if these outputs work, because the whole problem here is when I change bands on this radio, the outputs will go through 82 and 83 output here from this chip, and they come in through here. Then those go into the driver chip, so like 160, 80, 40, 20, 10, all that will go high, and then this driver chip will turn on and then send it out through this plug to the actual coils in the driver section here. I'm sorry, in the output filter board here. So that's what I've been battling. And anyway, yeah, something was loose here, whereas if I wiggled this, and this just happened by accident, thank goodness. If I wiggled this, I would note it would kick in and out transmit. And I thought, well, that's not going to be helpful. So I finally just tipped the radio on its side and soldered every connection I could find on here and put it back together the wires back on, and it's now working in a stable mode. So I think that took care of a weird problem, and this PNP transistor here being fixed now. We'll see if that works. And the whole thing was, this radio did work after I fixed the minus 5 volts for the DSP chip, but it still doesn't work right. When I turn this thing on, it delays in producing this voltage. It still delays a bit, so I still gotta fix that bloody circuit there. But otherwise, I really wanted 10 meters to work on this thing. So I'm gonna put it back together now and see if it'll go. And fixing this thing is a real pain because you gotta pull this board off and pull wires off and coax wires, and you can see all the wires in here. It's just painful. But that's how this radio was built. It's serviceable to a degree because all the boards are screw-on boards, so it's a pretty cool radio in that respect. It's a classic. What can I say? Thank you for watching. Next video, this thing might be working. Come take a look. Have a nice one.